Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fit Figure Formula. I'm your host, Coach Steph, and today I'm continuing my series on self-love through the lens of the 5 love languages. So right now I am starting a self-love step challenge, and it actually starts today. Today is day 1, so I have onboarded several ladies and we are going to be going through this step challenge and also focusing on our self-love through the lens of the 5 love languages. And I'm so excited for this challenge because this is not a challenge where you're going to do a lot of stuff for 30 days and then no longer do those things. My intention with this challenge is to grow your healthy habits through movement, to strengthen your relationship with yourself. Like, that's not going to go away. The aha moments that you get don't just go away whenever you end the challenge. You keep that with you, the things that you learn. And we're going to be working on our healthy habits, growing our self-love, increasing our step count in a sustainable way so that this is the bridge, this is the guide that you need to start or restart your health journey. So even if you're listening to this after February 1st, 2026, I am going to link the sign up page below and you can actually still sign up. So today I'm going to talk about self-love through affirmations. And so I typically don't like to call affirmations because I think we have a preconceived notion about what affirmations are. And a lot of us just say things in a mirror that we actually do not believe, which is not going to be helpful. So I always like to call it intentional thought creation. And I have a framework for my Fit Figure Formula clients that I teach to help them graduate from a weaker thought about themselves to a strong thought about themselves. But for this challenge, we're going to call them affirmations. And I want to talk about what that can look like and how that can help you lose the weight for good and also just feel better along the way. So here's the truth. We constantly repeat messages to ourselves. It could be things like, I always mess up, I have no discipline, I can't stay consistent, I'll never look like her, what's wrong with me, right? So all of those are affirmations. They're just negative ones. And so unconscious affirmations are unconscious statements. You see how like those are statements about yourself? Those unconscious statements shape how you actually feel and how you show up. And they influence your choices around food, movement, and self-care. So affirmations aren't about lying to yourself or pretending that everything is perfect. Affirmations really are about intentionally choosing the thoughts that support you instead of sabotage you. So I know sometimes it feels like what you think about yourself is just you reporting what's true. But what if what's true is only what you see, right? And so our brain is so powerful and you can reframe something and feel better about it sooner rather than later. I was coaching a client the other day who experienced something totally unrelated to health and wellness, right? It was like something in her home life that happened. And I said to her, she was telling me the story about what happened. And she said basically that she spiraled and she was like in the bed for 4 days. And then, after the 4 days, she kind of started feeling better and started doing her health habits again. And I'm like, okay, so what happened at the point where on the 4th day, you decided to get up and start doing your health habits again? And she's just like, oh, I started feeling better. And I'm like, but why and how did you start feeling better? Right? So we don't just magically start feeling better. It's like what we're thinking changes our mood because the circumstance that she was upset about did not change, right? So have you ever been upset about something one day and then the next day, circumstances the same, but now I have either encouraged myself or, I talked about it with someone or I've kind of journaled about it. I've worked through it and now I'm feeling better about it. I'm not feeling better about it because the circumstance changed. I'm feeling better about it because I have felt my emotions. I have had time to process. And what I told her was, you can actually move through that quicker. Like you're going to have things that upset you, but taking 4 days, like it could take you 2 days, right? It could take you 1 day. It could take you an hour because some stuff you can't change anyway. And so holding on to that energy and being angry and mad and disappointed will keep you in the bed. And instead learning how can I, like what process and ritual do I need to adopt to let go of things much quicker so that I can move through a bad moment and not let that bad moment make me have a bad 4 days, because I can move through that quicker, right? Like, what do I need to know about myself in order to move through that? And that is really indicative of your relationship with yourself, the thoughts that you choose to think about yourself and about a circumstance that actually make you show up differently, right? So you can get over things quickly, or you can take a really long time to get over things. Most of the time, right, it's up to you and how you think about it. So definitely give yourself time to feel your feelings, to be upset. Anger is totally a fine emotion to have. And know that when you get ready to move through it, building up your skills and your relationship with yourself to be able to move through it when you're ready to move through it. Because really, most women don't fail at weight loss because they don't know what to eat, right? They end up losing and gaining and losing and gaining because they spiral after imperfect days. They shame themselves for being human. They quit when progress isn't fast enough, or they just don't trust themselves anymore. So that voice in their head becomes more of an obstacle than knowing what to eat. I always talk about the knowing and doing gap. There's a gap between what you know to do and what you're actually doing. And I would even suggest that what's in that gap is knowing what to do to get yourself to do the thing. And that's where that relationship with yourself can grow. So here's something I tell my clients all the time. You cannot hate yourself into lasting change, right? If being mean and beating yourself up actually worked, you would have already done that by now. Like, you would have had your goal, because you're really good at that. Self-love isn't about letting yourself off the hook or being too nice to yourself or not holding yourself accountable. It's really about reflecting, slowing down, deciding, responding instead of being reactive, workshopping the problem, giving yourself grace, right? There's a whole give and take, and your relationship with yourself has a lot to do with how you think and how you think about yourself. So when you decide to think powerful thoughts, you are rewiring patterns in your subconscious and your conscious mind. You're creating emotional safety. You are creating more self-trust, and it helps you recover faster from setbacks. They change how you respond when motivation is low. So how do we use affirmations without making it feel fake? So a lot of people will go wrong with trying to jump straight to the I love my body, I'm confident all the time. And their brain is like, no, that's not true. Instead, affirmations should feel supportive and they should feel believable. You should be able to get your energy behind it. It should feel calming and grounding, right? So you want to build a bridge to your goal and to your strong thought and not try to jump, because if you're saying something to yourself that you actually don't believe, it's really not going to be helpful. And you're kind of lying to yourself, and that doesn't increase your self-trust at all, right? So I want to share with you some affirmations that you might be able to use, and I encourage you to repeat the ones that resonate with you. Definitely save this episode and come back to it. Share it with somebody who might be struggling with their own self-talk, body image. Invite them to follow the podcast. So if you are joining our self-love step challenge, or even if you're not, if you're just going for a walk, like, you can say these affirmations anytime. So this is the great thing about mindset tools, is that you can do them at any time, during your walk, while you're getting ready in the morning, during your meals, when you feel discouraged. And you only want to be saying things, again, that you can actually get your energy behind. So it could look like this: I'm learning how to take care of myself. I want you to just say that out loud and then just pause. How does that feel? Does that feel believable? Does it feel good? Does it feel encouraging, right? Like, that's what you want to be feeling. Or another example could be, I don't need to be perfect to make progress. One affirmation, honestly, that really helped me was, I can take messy action. And that really helped me to just get out of my head and stop doing it perfect before I start, and just start. Another one could be, I trust myself to keep going. One choice does not define me. I can reset without punishment. I don't quit on myself anymore. My body deserves care at every stage. I can work towards change and still respect myself. I'm allowed to take up space and work on my goals. I forgive you, right? Sometimes some of us just need to hear from our own self that, hey, I forgive you. I did the best that I could at the time, right? That's not letting yourself off the hook. That's forgiveness, right? And we believe in forgiving people, right? Have you forgiven yourself? You might also need to tell yourself, I am proud of you. This one hits me to the core because when I said that to myself at one point, I didn't know how much I needed to hear it. And I was like, wow, I needed that, right? So you might need to tell yourself like, I'm proud of you. Here's a few more. I'm becoming someone who shows up for myself, right? I'm becoming someone. Can you get your energy behind that, right? This isn't saying that all your work is done because that's not true, but am I becoming someone who shows up for herself? Yeah. And so in your becoming, you will make mistakes, you will learn, you will reflect. Another one might be I choose habits from love and not pressure, right? What habits are you adopting out of love for yourself versus pressure or feeling like you have to do something versus you get to? So you can repeat these to yourself. There are lots of ways that you can express affirmations. I highly recommend exposing yourself to more and different kinds, whether it's through an app or YouTube, and get ideas about what you can say. Some of them are very beautiful, very poetic, and it really is a wonderful way to express yourself. And it just kind of helps you think about yourself in a different way. So, something important that I really want you to know is that self love is not something that you either have or you don't have. This is the same thing with discipline, right? It's not like, oh, I have it or I don't. I can grow it. And I do that through practice. If you want to be a powerful woman, you have to think powerful thoughts, and you can practice thinking powerful thoughts. If you want to have a fit body, you need a fit mind. And if you don't have that right now, you can practice thinking powerful, fit thoughts, right? Like fit people don't have the same thoughts. Have you ever thought about that before? Like people who are very fit, they have to have a different dialogue. They have to be thinking different thoughts in order to push through and to be consistent, because we're all going through something. Like we all have a hard time with some area in our life. We all have bad days, and some people are able to still get the result. So it's like, how is that? I definitely know it's about your habits, but it's also about how you think. And all of that is learnable. So affirmations and positive thinking, mindset tools aren't really for the days that are going well. They're not really for the weeks where you're really on top of it. You're storing up positive energy, go-to thoughts, mantras, rituals, habits for the days when it's hard, when the days when you really don't want to. For when life is really lifing, you have stored up mental muscle, because imagine lifing and you haven't been practicing being mentally tough. Like the mental tough part doesn't just come, right? You have to keep practicing it. So you do not have to wait, right, until you're a fit person to then think fit thoughts. That's not going to work, right? So we have to be monitoring our inner dialogue, being kinder to yourself, having more compassion and curiosity versus criticism. And that's the main thing that's going to help you with encouraging yourself when you really need it. And so on this self-love step challenge, it's 28 days and it's designed to help you move your body from a place of care, increase your steps without pressure, improve your relationship with yourself, practice self-love in really tangible ways, and quiet the negative self-talk that actually keeps you stuck. So this is not about extremes. It's going to be a beautiful 28 days, y'all. I was creating some content for it and literally started tearing up. Like, if you actually do the exercises, they're really short, but they're really, really powerful. On the last episode, I talked about self-love through quality time. And I, even while I was doing the podcast, got some aha moments. Definitely go back and listen to that episode. It's the episode right before this one. And when you think about something and you spend time on a topic, you learn it deeper. And as I'm even sometimes talking about it, I'm like, oh, that was good, right? Like I'm getting nuggets as I'm like creating the content. And so it's really, really powerful. Yes, you're going to get a lot more steps, right, in the 28 days, but you're also going to deepen your relationship with yourself. So you cannot really go wrong with that, right? So if you're ready to stop being your own biggest critic, you're ready to start building healthier habits that actually last, I would love to support you. You can join the Self-Love Step Challenge with the link in the show notes, even if it's after February 1st. I really think that this 28 days is going to be really transformational. Imagine if you actually signed up for 16 weeks of Fit Figure Formula coaching with me in your back pocket every single day. I would love to support you inside the 16 weeks. You are more than welcome to join both actually at the same time, but this is the support that you've been missing, the mental and emotional part of weight loss. So y'all, thanks for listening so much. Head to the show notes to join the challenge or to apply. And if this episode was helpful, if you're listening to the podcast week after week, consider rating the show, and it doesn't take very much time. If you're on Apple Podcasts, you can leave a review. If you're listening on Spotify, you can leave me a comment. What'd you think about the episode? I would love to hear your thoughts. And again, if you know someone who might be struggling with their self-love or their health habits, send them this episode. All right, y'all, thanks for listening. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening to the Fit Figure Formula podcast. If you're new here and you're struggling with your fitness journey, I invite you to take a super simple next step. Click the link in the show notes for a free training. If listening to this podcast has been helpful, imagine being inside the Formula Coaching Program. You can apply for coaching with the link in the show notes. I hope to see you inside.